No wonder Hun Yu wanted to take Feng Qing'er as his mount. It turns out everything was taught by Hun Tiandi himself.
天妖皇族给我趴下！本族长要骑上你们，一同斗气大陆！呀！混账！
Many people feel that Hun Yu is somewhat foolish, harboring the idea of subduing the heavenly demon Phoenix clan and using it as his personal mount. However, what many do not know is that this is actually a tradition of the Hun clan. The reason Hun Yu possesses such thoughts is entirely inherited from Hun Tiandi, because when Hun Tiandi was on the verge of becoming a Dodi, he too once had the intention of acquiring a mount. Back then, after the battle at the Tuoshe ancient mansion, Hun Tiandi forcibly swallowed the emperor pill and was jointly struck down by Gu Yuan and Zhu Kun, suffering severe injuries. Although he was facing the risk of death, there was no doubt that Hun Tiandi had already placed half a foot into the Dodi realm. Before leaving the mansion, Hun Tiandi cast a deep glance at Gu Yuan and Zhu Kun, and sinister schemes gradually formed in his heart. Years later, at the moment he broke through to Dodi, Hun Tiandi's desires expanded infinitely. He directly refined the void-swallowing flame into his own origin flame. Immediately after, unable to restrain himself, he rushed toward the Tianfu alliance. At that moment, he had only two thoughts in mind. One was to show off mercilessly in front of Gu Yuan, and as for Zhu Kun, Hun Tiandi already had other plans for him. Stepping upon a blood lotus formed from the sacrificial blood of countless cultivators of the Central Plains, Hun Tiandi stood high above the Tianfu alliance. With a casual wave of his hand, he shattered the defensive barrier, jointly formed by Gu Yuan Kun and the others. A late-stage 9-star Doshing, before a Dodi, was no different from an ant. Even when the ancient Emperor Mirror was summoned, it could not even allow a speck of dust to stain Hun Tiandi's robes. To further drive Gu Yuan into despair, Hun Tiandi did not kill him immediately. Instead, right before his eyes, he casually swung his hand, and tens of thousands of experts were slaughtered instantly. Watching Gu Yuan collapse in silence, Zhu Kun finally hardened his resolve. He transformed into a giant dragon, releasing an overwhelming dragon aura. That strange golden light seemed to disperse much of Hun Tiandi's blood-soaked killing intent. Seeing Zhu Kun charge out, Hun Tiandi's eyes lit up, a trace of interest appearing in his gaze. He stated that he had just entered the Dodi realm and happened to be lacking a mount. If Zhu Kun were willing to serve as his mount, Hun Tiandi would guarantee the survival of the ancient void dragon tribe. That arrogant posture was exactly the same as Hun Yu back then, overbearing and asking to be beaten. The difference, however, was that Hun Yu had been far too weak, and saying such words only made him look like a clown. But now the one harboring such thoughts was the only Dodi in the world. Even Zhu Kun dared not refute him after hearing this, and could only fight to the death. Opening his dragon maw wide, a purple golden beam carrying destructive power shot straight toward Hun Tiandi. Hun Tiandi merely shook his head and smiled. In the next instant, he teleported onto Zhu Kun's body, and with a light stomp, pressed the massive dragon beneath his feet. That terrifying power instantly caused Zhu Kun's dragon scales to shatter, and dragon blood poured down from the sky like a waterfall. If you are unwilling, then I will forcefully ride upon you. In truth, if Hun Tiandi were to use Zhu Kun as a mount, it would indeed be far more prestigious than that scruffy bird from the heavenly demon Phoenix clan, the Dragon Emperor bloodline of the ancient Void Dragon tribe, with its purple golden dragon scales, massive physique, and terrifying physical strength. Any ordinary magical beast would have exploded on the spot. From such a stomp by Hun Tiandi, only Zhu Kun, a veteran 9-star Dosheng, was worthy of Hun Tiandi's status. Moreover, Zhu Kun could freely traverse through void space, saving Hun Tiandi the trouble of traveling back and forth himself. Although a 9-star Dosheng could not match a Dodi in speed, riding an ancient void dragon was an enormous boost in prestige. If Hun Tiandi had truly wished, he could also have taken a heavenly demon phoenix as a mount. Its speed was no slower than that of an ancient void dragon. If Huang Tian's strength were raised to late-stage 9-star Dosheng, then whether in spatial traversal or pure speed, the heavenly demon phoenix would be top tier, absolutely perfect for travel. The only drawback was that it simply wasn't as handsome as Zhu Kun, which was why the ancient void dragons mocked it as a scruffy bird. As for the 9 Nether Earth Serpent clan, that could be forgotten entirely. Riding a giant snake slithering around, truly had no presence at all. Unfortunately, Hun Tiandi's ambition to subdue Zhu Kun as his mount ultimately failed, because Xiao Yin also inherited the legacy of the Tuoshi ancient god, successfully broke through to Do Di, and in the end defeated Hun Tiandi. At that moment, the Hun clan's dream of possessing a mount was completely shattered. That's all for today's content. See you in the next part. Support me by becoming a member. It will give me more motivation. Thank you so much,